Yo, what's good, y'all? What is good? What is good? Happy, happy Tuesday, or what I like to call Second Monday. Um, so come on in, man. Join in. We're gonna get this going real quick, real quick. It's not gonna be anything um, big, I should say. There's only two games, and I don't really want to step on anyone. So I'm gonna make sure I share the link. Make sure whomever is on right now, if you are on, make sure you share the link. Um, that way we can get in and get out. I want to be cognizant of everyone's time, so um, make sure you just take this quick, I don't know, 2 minutes if you will, and share the link. Let's see. So we got to get into these games. It's crazy, right? These games right now that are going on. This is insane. This is insane. All right, y'all. I'm trying to get on, but I'm making sure I've got the right links. If you're in here, make sure you share this link. We can get in and out. In and out. Let's break down. Let me see. All right. I found myself right here. And I'm sharing again. It's weird when you got to talk about what you're doing, just so you don't have this dead air, right? So you just got to, oh, I'm doing this. I bet some of y'all are like, man, we don't give a damn. All right, so I got this link. I got my YouTube link, and we are going to talk ball. We are going to talk ball. All right, all right. Now, I hope you with me. Thanks for coming out, man. We're gonna have a real quick session about these two games. I hope you got a little bit of adult beverage with you. I myself, I took my second shot yesterday, so I'm starting to kind of feel that. So if I'm not as vibrant, man, it's that damn second shot. All right, so I'm picking up the lineups. We had a crazy day today as far as the biggest news was Sumner. And I think that hurt a lot. Or not Sumner, I'm sorry. The biggest news was Karis LeVert. Sumner is playing, actually. Uh, a lot, I think, was depending on Karis really showing out today because he had the perfect matchup. So, my opinion, once that news dropped, it was already kind of a gamble, if you will, with this game being as short as the line is. But when Karis went out, I've never seen such a drop in points for someone who technically in the regular season you wouldn't see that big of a drop. But when the game is on the line and there's an actual, uh, playoff where you got to play to win just so you can seed. This one here is very tricky for a whole point to drop. Maybe even in some cases a point and a half for Karis to drop. And so the first thing you realize is that he's going to, or the books were anticipating, he was going to have a lot of points in this game, and now you're giving up those points. So let's get into it, man. Not to make, I guess, anything long. I know these games are about to come on here in about 15 minutes as far as the first one. We got Charlotte at Indy. Obviously, this line is Indy still -1.5. That should give you cause for pause, too. Why is Indy still favored? This is crazy. So looking at this game, I went on ahead and took Charlotte because I liked Karis LeVert being out, even though now we do have Brogdon in, right? This guy is a game changer, but we do have to stick with the rules that obviously when you have a star player who comes back for his first game, that you don't put too much stock in him. The chemistry could be off. You're already losing over 20 points a game in Karis. The dude's been on fire, right? So in my opinion, this still looks like it would favor Charlotte, but Charlotte just makes these dumb mistakes, and you're just hoping that Ball can play a really good, solid game. So right now we see the line was 231 as far as the total. It's now 226 and a half. That actually got up a little bit. I believe it got as low as 224. So this one here is kind of crazy as far as they're starting to be a little more steam up. They're thinking that this might just be a game. So Sabonis is in, Brogdon is in, Holiday is in. We've got all the set players, even Sumner. Edward Sumner is playing. So they've come to play and they've come to win. It's just a weird flex that these guys would be questionable for a quick second. Why were DeMontis, why was he questionable all of a sudden, right? That's when I put on my tinfoil hat. And I'm like, yo, something ain't right. Something ain't right about that. I think that's where they try to motivate people to bet one side. So the model has this game still with Pacers winning over 10 points, right? So this one here, even with the injuries, the model still likes Indy, and this line is real fishy. So I took Charlotte and I took the money line. I think it's the better look, even though the model is saying this is more of a blowout than the Wizards and Boston's game. So that's kind of crazy. So I'm going against the model, and honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if the Pacers won here. But I do like Charlotte, and that's really based upon Scary Terry playing a really good game. He's got to have a good game. Charlotte lost 5, man, and maybe there's a lot of moving parts, that goes with those losses. Obviously, you weren't going to try to get up, in some of these games. You didn't have players playing, of course, but still losing those 5, man. You should have tried to really get to Washington, and Washington beat them 115 to 110. New York, I can understand, man. That's just New York. Clippers and Denver, I can understand. Yeah, but New Orleans, you lose by 2 points to New Orleans. That shouldn't even happen. So it's just careless mistakes. I believe even Borrego didn't like some shit, and you saw him get ejected from a game, which never happens. So this team does and can make mental mistakes that could cost them in the playoffs, because the game is going to obviously slow down now that Brogdon's in there. How much of Brogdon and how effective of Brogdon you get, maybe he's just going to be more effective on defense. What I do like about Charlotte is they do have more big men, but DeMontis is going to eat. So if there's any DeMontis props, I don't care if he's injured. Bro's been playing injured. So I would be curious to see what those props are and even just look at taking them. All right, so the next game I've got is right now, 9 o'clock game, Washington at Boston. This game opened up at Washington -1.5, and it immediately flipped to Boston -1.5, and it stayed there. It's got as high as -2. And this is crazy, man, because you would obviously, the casual fan would look at this game, and let's just say they would look at who Boston doesn't have, and they would look at how great Washington is playing. And honestly, man, they would probably go Washington. If you look at just the numbers alone, the majority of the public is all on Washington. 61% over 39. And this is still -1.5. They couldn't even make it a pick 'em. They didn't even think about making a decimated Boston team, right, a home dog. That gives me cause for pause. And I do like Washington, right? Crap, what's good, baby? But the model, man, still has Boston winning this game by 4 points. 4 points, man. And it's still, to me, I'm pretty sure there's more seasoned people who can look at this line, this total, and be able to have a good definition for why the line has gone up. So why is Boston favored now and the line has gone up when Boston doesn't have the shooters? Are you expecting Marcus Smart to make corner threes? Are you expecting Evan Fournier to kind of step up and do his thing? So that it was just weird. There could be a simplistic answer for that, right? There could be. But when I look at the total line flipping to Boston, right, and then that line going up, to me, that would favor Washington. If I'm looking at it, right, it would favor Washington. Right? So in my opinion, I like Washington, and I did like Washington, but this line has been scaring me all day. It has. It's been scaring me all day. So now do I go with the more experienced team, or do I go with the hot team? And what works in the playoffs. In this case here, I'm telling you right now, I'm going to go with the model. And so I am taking Boston to win this game. I'll take the -1.5. If they get blown out, they get blown out. But just looking at level of competition, there were two things that happened, man, that gave me cause for pause. One of those was my buddy on our Monday and Thursday channel, Kev, was like, I wouldn't discount Boston out. These guys, regardless of what they've had, they are experienced enough to play. And then I thought, okay, yeah, you probably have a point there, right? Maybe they do. Maybe they can get up. But then Boston killed a lot of tickets, beating a surging Minnesota. Now, for what it's worth, Minnesota is Minnesota, right? But this team is really playing for how they're going to look next year, in my opinion. You've got all the right pieces. And that team is surging. Anthony Edwards, Nas Reeves, Cat, D'Lo, Rubio, for whatever reason, try to bring them all back. You haven't even played with Bagley. So you've got enough you got enough chess pieces where you can make it a chess game, if you will. It's just a matter of, do these guys want to play ball? That's what it's about. So looking at this game, the model has not changed. The model has not changed, and the model still believes Boston's going to win this game by 4. So, yeah, I'm going to post it. I'm taking Boston -1.5. It'll probably be squared, but I'm going to go with the model, and I'll take Boston -1.5. As far as the total, it looks like it could be a sprint, but it's just funny how it moved up 1.5, right? That's weird to me. So I don't really play totals. I don't really do anything with totals, but I would still probably take the over. So I would look at Boston and maybe the over. The total, I wouldn't even touch, but just if I'm leaning somewhere, it's that. But my official play for this game will be Boston. The model has this game, Boston, 4.24 points. And in spite of, I'm going to take that, and I will agree with the model, and I will also take that bet. All right, y'all. That is it. It's just those two games, man. Just a quick in and out. I appreciate the constant support. I'm looking at things and working on things getting better, and they will. But I'm growing like you are. So I appreciate you. Thank you all for coming out, listening to these quick analysis of the games. And have a good day. All right.